Hey, welcome you HL Mathers. John's here to help me with this last problem from the quiz. This was when you have a function f of x equals the square root of x, and the question is to find the inverse of the function. So let's see John go ahead and solve this, and I'll provide some commentary. So first thing he's going to do, remember step one is write y equals, he's going to substitute that in for f of x. The second thing he's going to do is he's going to flip the x and the y, right? And he's going to rewrite it. X is square root of y. So far, so good. And now you have to solve for y. So John looks at this, he realizes he's got to get rid of that square root. He's going to square the one side. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you do to the other. So he squares them both. And this problem was actually set up pretty easy for you, right? So you got it right away. The new function, the inverse of the original function is y equals x squared. So that first part, I think most of you guys got that. Then the second part was find the domain. So what's the domain of the inverse? Now that's a little bit trickier. So John, what do you... Well, first of all, what do you do to find the domain? How do you figure that out?
So you just look for any number. So we're just going to look for any number that works in this problem. So let's try that out. So if it's we know any positive number works, so like square root of 1 and 2 and whatever, but negative numbers won't work for that because, square root of a negative number, that's not a real number. That's imaginary. So the domain of this is going to be the range of the original problem. And so the range of that is anything that is greater than or equal to 0.
Perfect. And I think the way John wrote that, he should write it like this, right?
Oh, yeah.
X is greater than or equal to 0. So the range of the original one is, remember what John was basically saying was that you restricted the domain of the original one. So you said you can't put a negative number in there. And therefore the answers, all the different y values that could come out were always positive, but also 0. Some of you forgot 0. So the final domain is the original range. It's always going to be a positive number. Nice work. Thank you, John. Namaste.